Alright, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father, Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. This video is entitled Nothing's Wrong with an Honest Day's Work. Watching a video a couple of days ago, an old video of Louis Farrakhan talking about this. So this is why, because our society is so capitalistic, and people are defined by how much money they make. And nothing's wrong with making a lot of money. Nothing's wrong with attempting to make a lot of money. But what I do find something wrong with is the idea that something's wrong with making an honest day's living if you're not upper class or rich. That's wrong. You got people out here who have been told that, if things that, working certain jobs is beneath them, is chump change because, they feel like they're worth more than that. I understand that. But you may feel like you're worth more money than you may be making, and that's absolutely understandable. But nothing's wrong with working. You can get your foot in the door and feel like you're getting underpaid, and you can show your value and get paid more. Nothing's wrong with working. People think hustling people or scamming people are going for these big licks, that's a good thing. Well, the reason I say nothing's wrong with an honest day's work is this. People chose to have an honest day's work over a dishonest day's work, because there are more people who are doing honest work in the world than people who are criminally minded. And those people understand what it takes to get the things they have, whether they be little things or big things. They know the amount of effort and time that it took, and the discipline and the budgeting that it took to get what they wanted. And nothing's wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. When people act like, this person makes this amount of money, so they're beneath me. But that person, they're making what they're making. And they're making an honest day's living. They may not be in your tax bracket, but they're not less of a human being than you. And sometimes we get that twisted. Because, you have to have you have to hit a certain number to make your day's worth respectable. And I think there's a fallacy in that, because we all came up in families where there are people who made a lot of money, and there are people who didn't make a lot of money. But we wouldn't discredit the impact of those people, or the people who made a lot of money. We won't discredit their impact on our lives. The people who didn't make a lot of money, we're not going to discredit their impact on our lives. So to act as though somebody's making a certain amount of money, I'm going to discredit the impact that they can have on my life is ridiculous. And partially the pride factor, you can make a choice to do something immoral, unethical, and illegal. It doesn't even have to be illegal, to be perfectly honest, but immoral and unethical for your financial benefit. And people choose not to, because they have respect for what other people have worked for, or that other people work the same way they do. And that should be commended. That should be commended. I don't care what you do for a living, as long as you're doing something for a living. Some people, their one job can't pay all the bills, so they have multiple jobs. I can't fault those people. I can't disparage those people. I can't necessarily hate those people. I can't hate those people, because they're doing the best that they got at the opportunity with their jobs to provide for themselves and their families. That should be respected. Like you can't say, okay, you know, you making this amount of money, so I can't respect you until you hit this amount of money. They're still putting food on the table. You might not like the food, but the food is on the table. And they're putting the food on the table out of responsibility, and because it's the right thing to do. Plus, an honest day's work doesn't have the karma of dishonest behavior. Like, you don't have to deal with the things that a person who got their money in ill-gotten ways has to deal with. Some people can take that risk. Some people can't. Most people can't take that risk because you might get away with a lot, and it might make you a lot of money. That doesn't mean your kid's gonna get away with it. You know, that doesn't mean you might get away with it for a period of time. That doesn't mean it all ends well. You know, and that's where sometimes people get stuff messed up. When you have an honest day's living and you work, not only did you earn everything you had or have, there is no backlash or repercussion for somebody, no revenge involved, no bad karma involved. So nothing's wrong with that. Like, you know, and the crazy part about an honest day's work is it doesn't have to be poor. Like, sometimes people equate a person making an honest day's living with financially being below somebody else, and the irony of it is, depending on which occupation you're talking, or where these people are in these occupations, a person could have less. You could disrespect their occupation, and you can have a more prestigious occupation, but they make more money than you because, you know, everything in this world works cohesively. So, you know, if you're a doctor, dope. If you're a garbage man, dope. You know what I'm saying? If you're a helicopter pilot, dope. If you're a janitor, dope. You know, as long as you're doing what you want to do. You know, and the other thing about an honest day's work is some people enjoy what they do. You know, regardless of the pay scale, some people actually enjoy what they do. You might not enjoy it, but they enjoy it. And, you know, people have turned what you thought was menial jobs into big businesses because they actually enjoyed their work. You might not have enjoyed their work. You may think their work is beneath you, but that honest day's work makes their life worth living. So I can't discredit somebody having an honest day's work. I think that's a great thing. That's kind of the issue that goes along, because it seems like people don't want to be hitched to people who are working class people, I would say, or what they think is working class, or blue collar, or, you know, maybe lower middle class and below, maybe even middle class and below. But it's a class situation. But me personally, I don't have a problem with it. You know, I'd take a FedEx driver over a bank robber any day. You know, real talk. Like, you know, he's in a high risk, high reward occupation. Yeah, that's nice. But I got more respect for the FedEx driver. I'm just be honest with you, because nothing's wrong with an honest day's work. Some people don't like their job because it's repetitive. You know, and some people just don't like their job. But having a job is better than not having a job. And if you create a business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, do it. You know what I'm saying? That's an honest day's work. Because regardless of if you create your own business or you work for somebody, the one thing that is synonymous with both is you're going to have to work. You know, you might have to put in longer hours than some people. You might have to work shorter hours than some people. You never know, but you're gonna have to work. And the one thing, ultimately, you know, that most people can respect, and I can respect, is a person who puts in an honest day's work and gets an honest day's pay. I mean, we need to stop looking down on that in society. That's just my opinion. I'm out on this one. Peace.